Also, I saw a Ninja Turtle. One of the drawers was empty. I hid the mitten there. Mitten. The simple action drained the last bit of strength from me. Okay. I sat on the bed. Oh, maybe I missed the opportunity to, like, look around at shit. Damn it. And only then I noticed there was someone behind the curtains. My tired hand dropped the sheets. Whether it was due to medication I took or the stress I underwent, the room began to contort as if the wind was blowing the walls out like a pair of sails. The room's corners bent and undulated. The only stable thing in the whole room was the figure between the windowsill and the curtains. A flimsy piece of cloth was stuck to my hidden visitor, just like a savant of sorts. Olya? Who else would be standing there? I stood up and licked my dried lips. Yeah, Olya, it's so funny. The silhouette was unmoving. It was enveloped softly by the curtains, as if there was a thick layer of darkness there, not a human being. I reached towards the curtains. Ba-dum, ba-dum, beat my heart, controlled by medication. The wind sang in the field with a chorus of voices. For a second, I wanted to return to the bed, just lie down and watch the person behind the curtain, knowing full well they were looking back at me. They're looking without blinking, waiting for me to fall asleep. Plastic rings rustled against the holder when I pulled open the curtains. Gotcha! I knew it was Olya. Hello, Olya. I missed the opportunity to look around the room, and I guess I could go back, but I'm not going to. I knew it was you. Okay, I knew it was you from the beginning. A blindingly bright halo lit up above Olya's head with the setting sun as the background. My sister was shining. When she was just a baby, Dad always used to say she was shining with happiness. I always retorted, but Dad, she's not some flashlight. But I brought her to the window one day, and sunlight poured on her smiling face. I felt like I was holding a child woven from light. Oh, he's a good big brother. I saw everything. Oh, really? What did you hide? She was just like my mom when she was little, before she put on her sad mask of tiredness and switched to her commanding tone of voice. It's nothing, just... Olya ran up to the table, her eyes round, and asked, You stole something and hid it there? Are you a thief? What? Don't be stupid. I didn't steal anything. A clear image came to mind, that mitten hanging from a tree branch. What if I did steal it after all? From the forest, from the tilted figure standing behind black trees. Olya could be selfish and stubborn when she wanted. Then show me. Swear you won't tell anyone, then I'll show you. Olya wore a plotting smile. I swear on Mom's heart. An oath she heard from one of the movies about the pioneers we've watched. Pioneer movement, an umbrella term for communist children organizations existing around the world, somewhat reminiscent of the Scout movement. I see. Don't say things like that. Oops, clicked too quick. Olya nodded and made a gesture with her hand, locking her mouth with an imaginary key. She was filled with curiosity that was splashing in her giant eyes. Mitten! I opened the drawer and Olya leaned in, holding her breath. It looked like there was not just a simple mitten, but some sort of exotic critter. Is this someone's mitten? She said it as if she couldn't understand what she saw. A certain boy lost it, and got lost himself. Now, do you understand how dangerous it is for kids to wander into the forest, right? He must be really cold out there. Will they find him? They will. The police are going house to house, showing his photo to everybody. Olya traversed the room with care and pressed her tiny palms against the window. And why are they going to houses and not the forest? Are they scared? The question caught me off guard. The police aren't scared of anything. Yeah, right, flashed in my clouded mind. Would they really check every nook and cranny where darkness, cold, and whispers of icy branches dwell? If that's the case, how did they miss the mitten? Or did it appear later? For me. I changed the topic, as if trying to get Olya far away as possible from the forest thicket. We may get a reward if I go and find this boy by myself. A lot of stuff, like in Field of Wonders. What is Field of Wonders? A Soviet-Russian TV game show still running to this day, coming out every Friday, can be described as a partially adapted version of Wheel of Fortune. Oh, I see. Sounds cool, right? Olya wasn't listening to me. She was piercing the forest with incredibly adult eyes, uncharacteristic for her. What if the owl got him? Nonsense! An owl won't be able to lift a human. But you know what? I was picking my words with utmost care. I forced them out of my overexerted brain. Stay away from the forest. I think it's... How should I put it? It's cursed or something. Just like in a fairy tale? No, not like that. More like in that spooky tape Mom and Dad are hiding from us. Olya shivered and stole a glance at the window. I saw you running away. Someone was chasing you? No, it's just, I was hurrying back home so Mom wouldn't be worried. As I looked at my sister, my heart was tearing apart. She was so fragile. It was so easy to stifle her light. A gust of wind and her small fire would be gone. You're lucky. Mom won't even let me go outside. I'm like a princess in the tower. Can't go anywhere. I'll die from boredom here. Oh, yeah. You're wrong. No one has ever died of boredom. I don't want to say that's impossible, but I think it's unlikely that would happen to you, but I don't think it's impossible. And you have me and your cartoons, and Mom and Dad will be good to each other soon. You know what I would wish for on my next birthday? I'd wish for Mom and Dad to turn into children so we could go and play together like we used to. Yeah, and if you'd make them as small as bugs, we could put them in a little box. Olya giggled and tugged at my sleeve. Tony, let's go watch Aladdin. Fatigue won over my desire to be with my little sister. I was washed over by some sort of heinous apathy. I'm too tired. I don't want to. Come on. It's so boring alone, and Mom is always busy. We can pick a cartoon you haven't seen before. I know all of our tapes by heart at this point. Not all of them. You haven't watched Peter Pan. Remember how you fell asleep in the middle of it? And so much happens after that. Let's go. Maybe a bit later. Should I tell you how it ends? Let's leave that for tomorrow. I won't tell you tomorrow. I know. Let's play hide and seek. No, Olya. Then draw me a dino. Olya, please. Draw it. Will you leave me alone already? I blurted it out without thinking, and then I was immediately taken aback. I'd never screamed at my little sister like that. Olya stared at me in shock. Her lips started trembling, a precursor to tears. My chest was seething with disgust and embarrassment. What's happening to me? I hurried to prevent Olya from crying. All right, you win. Let's go watch cartoons for a bit. I don't wanna. I came up to her, putting my hand on her soft head. Let's go. Let's go watch Peter Pan. Boo, you'll fall asleep again. I smiled and lifted her chin. Her eyes were wet and felt bottomless. I promise I won't. And I'll draw you a full triceratops later. Hooray! Triceratops. Well, close enough. Olya rubbed her eyes with a sleeve of her pajamas, and a shining smile returned to her face. I'll go ask Mom for condensed milk and bread, and you rewind the tape. The bread is fresh, just how you like it. All right, just be careful not to spill the milk, or you'll be yelled at again. Want to bet I won't spill it? The tape is somewhere in the nightstand. Look for it. Olya disappeared in the doorway, and I dragged my feet into the neighboring room. A piggy bank. Olya is saving money for a real puppy because Dad said that taking care of him will take a lot of money. The scary window where Olya sees that accursed owl every night, lurking in the dark. Olya keeps curtains open during the day, but as soon as the twilight comes, she shuts them tight so she won't see the pair of hungry eyes outside. Is that a cow? Did that bear just make a cow noise? Olya's countless toys. An old teddy bear is the main attraction here. Olya doesn't sleep without it. And she digs her nose into its fur when she sleeps. Aww. I think that's it. Doesn't seem to be anything else to look at. Okay. The old photon TV was gathering dust in the corner. All that was left was clicking the button on the front panel. Oh, I saw my reflection in the thing for a second. The tune warmed up and familiar white noise started dancing on the black screen. I almost reached out to turn on the VCR when the noise calmed down and a blurry image appeared for a moment. It was a dark taiga forest, just like the one outside my window. The picture split the screen in half. Something creepy resembling human speech was coming out of the speaker. Just a few minutes later, the scenery was again overshadowed by noise. Did I catch some rogue signal? Local TV station only really showed Soviet cartoons, and even that was pretty rare. And only just recently I used to watch Robotech before school. I thought that was a Robotech figurine he had. It was so awesome. Maybe I should tinker with the antenna? What if I catch this channel again? On the other hand, Olya had asked me to find the tape. It wouldn't be nice to disappoint her. But in my sleepy state, I didn't have the strength to do all of it. Set? Is set to try and find the signal? Okay, there we go. Hopefully I haven't messed things up with Olya, but I kind of want to know what's going on. The picture finally cleared up. But the moment I rejoiced at finding that weird signal again, the TV started coughing, a voice barely coming through the cacophony. He was often seen. At the moment when small snowy hills were lined up on the screen, piercing with rickety crosses, and a male voice was narrating with a slow, mournful voice. Oh, that was a man. It was pitch black at the cemetery. In that fateful dark time, little Senya met her fate at the face of a monstrous thicket dweller. The locals call him none other than the Forest Master. I froze and did my best not to move, as if by doing that I could scare away the narrator. I listened closely to his every word. The beast dealt with the hapless girl in a masterful manner. The camera panned across the snow with something black spilled over it, looking for ragged pieces of cloth that were thrown all over the place. Oh boy. Oh no. I didn't want to think whether Senya's remains were wrapped in there, so I shut my eyes without thinking. Ooh, there was a hand for a second. The voice continued. Whoops. apparently you can activate the menu with that button. My bad. The voice continued. Wolves are rare guests in these parts. Here's what Tamara, the old woman that lives in a nearby crypt, had to say. She lives in a crypt! A close-up shot of the face of an old homeless woman, weary from life and alcohol abuse, rattled on the screen.
Yes, such a fearsome beastie it is. Worse than the rising dead.
The old woman splattered saliva all over the rectangular mic. Hi there!
And the stink, it's like...
The rest of her comparison was swallowed up by the sound of a horn. Oh, they bleeped her.
I've never felt anything like it. It was just standing there, yes, right where you stand, boyo, and pierced me with its eyes right in the middle of day. It was so huge, that one, with glassy eyes.
Obscenities were covered by another beep.
You know they say if this demon lays its eyes on you, it'll snatch you, put you in its bag, and you're gone.
Is it the Krampus?
He won't touch me. Likes me, it seems. So they even call me the devil's wench. And it's
definitely true. She's the devil's wench? The carnivorous monster will not touch those who fell to the level of forest beasts, going for the innocent child's blood instead. The forest master's presence is felt more and more on the outskirts of our country. Torn between believing in what was said and shrinking it away, I decided to record the remaining part of the documentary for some reason. I quickly grabbed the tape that was on top of the TV and put it in the VCR without even looking at the cover. It's Peter Pan! I pressed the record, turned the sound up, and paid attention to the slipping signal. It's not called the Forest Master for nothing. All of the animals obey it, be they hairy or feathery. They are all precursors for its appearance. If you hear howls in the distance, then it most likely already knows where you live. If you find animal prints all over your doorstep and birds watching you from the trees, you'd better hide. It's already coming for you. If you wake up at night and see a pair of eyes in your window, then soon. 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 Hey, rabbit! Whoops! Rah! The TV suddenly went mad and looped the last word over and over, piercing my ears. Okay! I got goosebumps all over my spine. The tape ended and was rewinding to the beginning. The sound of rustling tape reminded me of leaves and the wind and the low howl of the beast. I woke up from my stupor and pressed the button. The VCR ejected the tape. For a moment, I thought it was stained with saliva. But that was just the light from the chandelier making the black plastic glossy. Uh-oh. And then I saw the cover. Oops, I recorded it over Peter Pan. That's what I get for hurrying. It was bad enough that I ruined Olya's cartoon, but I also put this creepy stuff over it. I can't let her see this. We'll drown in tears. I snuck a glance at the door. I could hear the clatter of glass and squeaky floorboards. Olya appeared in the doorway.
You haven't started without me, have you?
My sister brought the tray with unevenly cut bread and a whole can of condensed milk. No. I was looking for the tape. Do you really want to watch Peter Pan?
I do! Turn it on already. Mom will come watch her Brazilian drama soon.
Come on, think fake detective. You know, I didn't like Peter Pan. Maybe we should watch Little Mermaid instead.
I've already seen it so many times. And you promised me.
She's so stubborn.
I know. Let's watch a couple of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle episodes first. A deal?
Olya frowned, but ultimately gave up. She put down the tray and crossed her hands on her chest. If you want it so much, can you open the milk can? I'm afraid I'll cut myself with the sharp edges. As soon as I stood up, the colorful dots popped before my eyes and my sore legs were pierced by thousands of needles. Only when I reached the sofa, I realized that the can was already open. Ollie had tricked me, played me for a fool. My stomach became heavy. I wanted to rush toward the TV, but my little sister was faster. She picked up the remote and proclaimed in a victorious tone, "Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha! As the remote's master, I command you to watch Peter Pan." I couldn't even open my mouth, and the VCR had already eaten the accursed tape. She played it, and then black crosses on an unnamed grave, empty crypts, bloody scrapes on the snow, and the insane devil's wench. I'd better tell the truth. Ollie, stop! I erased the end of your tape by accident. I'll trade it with you for 2 of mine. What do you mean? You couldn't erase it. Me and Dad broke off all those plastic pins with a screwdriver. You can't record anything over my cartoons now. Little sister pressed the triangular play button on the remote. I squeezed on the inside, awaiting the out-of-this-world voice of the narrator. But I saw the duel between Peter Pan and Captain Hook instead. I sighed in relief. My head, heavy as a leaden ball, now rested in my hands. Olia smiled in joy. She put the tape on rewind and started spreading milk over her bread. And when the cartoon started, she forgot about everything in the world. As if she really got transported to the Neverland, like she always wished. To be honest, I also imagined myself there, in a land where no one ever ages, where no one argues over little things, where no one listens to fights and the sound of broken plates at night. But now Peter Pan's land was especially far away from me. My thoughts dragged on, stumbled upon the horned beast that awaited me among the trees, and the narrator's mournful voice haunted me, sliding over bushes and ravines. Like a winged carnivore would track its prey. It felt like I was dreaming with my eyes still open. Then my sister's scream pulled me back to reality. Tony! Shut the curtains fast! Why? No one's watching you. It's dark, and when it's dark, the owl comes. I'm scared. I got out of bed, fighting my drowsiness, and closed the curtains. Yeah, there's no other options. Okay. I did my best not to look outside, toward the treetops, toward the taiga forest, which seemingly drew closer and closer. Of course, it was just a visual effect from the shadows of branches scraping the snow. Tony, Mom thinks I made the owl up. And Dad, too, thinks I'm a liar since I'm small. But the owl exists. Honestly, it does. You do believe me, right? That it comes every night and... I swiftly grabbed Olia's hand and looked her in the eyes. I was trying to transfer at least some of my courage and determination. But did I really have those qualities? Yes, I believe you, alright? Just don't nag our parents about it anymore. They're already dealing with a lot, so they'll just get mad at you. Come and tell me if anything happens. And don't look out the window. But it wants me to look. Doesn't matter. Act like it doesn't exist and never existed, like it's made up, just like Mom and Dad say. They'll get tired of waiting and fly away. Oh, poor Olia. It was madness, but after everything that's happened recently, I was more and more inclined to believe Olia's owl existed. I followed Peter Pan's adventures as if nothing had happened, as if the forest didn't kidnap kids, as if our parents weren't tearing each other apart bit by bit. Captain Hook was running away from a crocodile, and Captain Pan was headed to London on a gilded sailboat. By some miracle, I lasted longer than my little sister. Olia's eyelids had drooped, She started snoring lightly, resting her chin on the side of the bed. The chorus was singing the ending song. The world of Disney was lit up by a silvery moon. Oh! Another moon peeked out from under the first one. Scary and wan, hanging over the taiga forest. The horrific report got recorded right over the credits. My throat went dry. My pulse became faster. I looked toward Olya. She smacked her lips in her sleep. I squeezed the remote with all my might, ready to press stop at any moment. I rewound the recording, checked if it was intact, and then carefully took out the tape. The protective pin was still in place. I stood up and left Olya's room. Whether it was by providence or by curse, I hid the tape alongside the mitten at the exact moment Mom peeked in my room. Enough playing around. It's your first day at school tomorrow. Go to bed. You should sleep properly. You don't want to be teased for being sleepy, right? Adults think everything is so simple. As if sound sleep would ensure my classmates would like me. I covered myself with a blanket up to my neck and listened to the house humming, to something invisible rustling in the corners. My inner voice had a question for me. Do I want to hear that mysterious flute again? Yes? Or no? Maybe it's just a part of growing up, and I can't fully understand my own desires. The forest wailed behind the barrier that was my walls. Some ethereal entity wandered the fields. Branches shook as if calling for me. The wind howled on and on in the night. My thoughts were like annoying flies that entered my head before becoming weak and tangled. I didn't notice how I fell into slumber. Yay! Okay, so this is the first chapter. It's done. Thank you for completing episode 1 of Tiny Bunny. Did you enjoy it? Do you want to know what happens next? We're already working hard on the continuation of the story. Okay, cool. So I will save this. We'll save it right here. Okay. And I think this will take me to the menu. Yes, it will. Okay. So I guess that's all that we have for now. I'm going to obviously continue this when the next chapter is available. I've seen some preview images for it, so I'm guessing it's maybe just a translation thing. I don't know. But when it's out, I will do the next one. So let me know what you thought in the comments below. If there's anything you want me to change about how I've been doing these, if maybe I'm commenting too much or if the info things are distracting. If it's too loud, too quiet, anything like that. And hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye-bye! I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of my followers over on Patreon and give a special shout out to Jack Fox, Old Monster, Dizarin, and Jan Chilen. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. Hey everyone! Thanks for watching. Like what you saw? Have thoughts you want to share? Let me know in a comment. Want to help my channel grow? Then share with your friends. Or subscribe so that you never miss a new video. If you'd like to help me out and get some neat rewards, consider supporting me on Patreon. Thank you so much, you guys. I really couldn't do it without you.